right, what is going on, guys? It is time for another episode of the Chasing Waypoints podcast. And the countdown to Dakar Rally continues. Dakar Rally 2024 coming in hot, starting January 5th. And well, we have got a lot to talk about. Team Honda going 6 wide into the first stage. Should be interesting. We got Kyle McCoy headed out in the Malamoto class. And the topic of today's discussion. I don't want to say topic. We're going to be on the phone with Mason, Lisa, and I think Carter's going to guest appearance. Talking 2024 Dakar Rally and their program. This year going as a privateer team, so we're going to find out a little bit more about what is going on with that, how that all came to be. A lot of great episodes, a lot of stuff coming up, and it is going to be in rapid succession, so make sure you are tuned in, subscribed, and ready to go. There's going to be a lot headed your way. As we get closer to the Dakar Rally, we'll start getting some more stuff out. So if you got an idea, something you would like to hear from, one of the teams you would like to hear from, or any kind of the technical stuff, do not hesitate to reach out. If you're on Spotify, hit us up in the Q&A section. All of the other platforms, head on over to the Instagram at Chasing Waypoints. Send us a direct message and we will get in contact and see what we can do. Got a lot going on. I think there's going to be a definite interesting Dakar Rally with a new chrono stage. We're going to ask Mason about that and see what they are thinking. If there's any kind of strategy associated with it. I think it is the first time seeing it for a lot of people, so let's get on moving. Get these guys queued up. Man, it's been rush hour. You guys are listening to this. This is like on the tail end of recording like 4 or 5 episodes already. So having a lot of fun, talking to a lot of great people. Of course, Lizzie helping coordinate all of that. And the show continues. I got a lot going on. This is great. 2024 going to be a huge year. We got a lot of stuff planned. Continue to grow. I want to say welcome to all of our new subscribers. That's crazy. A lot of new people, a lot of questions coming in from around the world, which is really, really awesome. I'm absolutely stoked and excited. Looking to share more rally stories and how people are getting into rally. But with that being said, that is enough of an intro. Start turning the party down and get our phone together here. There it is. There he is. I was trying to figure out which one we're calling here. So let's turn the party down.
Hello.
Hello. Is this Mason?
Yep. And
who do we got?
We got Lisa and Carter.
Very nice. Morning, guys.
Hello. Good morning.
All right. Everybody caffeinated?
Yeah. No, my mom actually took away the monster that was in the back of Lexi's car that I grabbed out this morning and gave me some tea instead so I can boost my immune systems.
Yeah. You're going to be doing some traveling coming up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dang it.
I know. You got to be ready for that stuff. But Monster's not good for you anyway.
Yeah. That's why I got the...
I don't think that's the problem.
Monster ever since I started hanging out with Red Bull people.
So you went from nothing to drinking Monster with all the Red Bull guys?
Yeah. Because it's like, give me a hat.
I just need some swag.
Yeah. Like, well, Red Bull guys don't buy their Red Bulls, so why should I?
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I think it's a fact. They're both pretty good. Do you have a favorite?
Not yet.
Like, choose Red Bull or Monster. What is your favorite from both? And which one wins the overall?
Well, for my younger DJing days, I would say Red Bull won because that was usually accompanied with some other distilled potato juice or vodka in some circles. Hey guys, what's going on? This is Victor with the Chasing Waypoints podcast. Hey, super quick. We have got some news for you guys. So Mira Activewear, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the brand. You should be. You've seen their handiwork if you've seen pictures of Happy Dave and a few of our other riders here in the States, but also in the Dakar Rally, a lot of the top pros wearing their windbreakers, custom-made rally suits and things like that. They have been phenomenal. They are a very, very high-quality product, awesome printing, design team, everything. But the reason we're interrupting this episode is they have got a fundraiser and promotional raffle going on right now between now and February. You want to get on over there. So you can purchase a limited edition Mira bandana set. So 3 special designs. That will get you entered into the contest for a grand prize of a full rally suit. So check out all the rules and limitations, all that fun, all that jargon. Get on over to the website. Link is in the description. And let's get back to the episode. Oh, man. So how are you feeling? This is, for all intents and purposes, this has kind of been like a mad rush. Everybody was starting to wonder, is Mason going to go to the Dakar?
Me too.
And so walk me through what happened. What was
So beginning of the year, like mid-season, right? That's when we didn't know if I was going to go. Mm-hmm. And I saw it as a pretty good opportunity to take a break, maybe possibly grow up. Like I talked about this a bit before, kind of annoying going into year 3. It's like, got it or you don't, But the problem is I feel like I have it. And also the only reason I'm going to Dakar is because my mom is making me.
Oh.
Not true, but that's probably.
I can see your mom rolling her eyes right now.
Definitely pushing me to go for it. Yeah. Obviously, the easy way out is definitely to not do all the work. It's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. I don't know how many miles I just drove the last week, but just for doing suspension and been doing a lot of riding on the old version. Doing a lot of stuff. I'm basically building the bike, right? I'm bringing all my own parts. I'm bringing half a bike and 8 suitcases to Dubai to get ready for the race. Then when I get to Dubai, then we have to buy more stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's like making your own team, actually team manager stuff, but also I'm the rider. So it's a lot of work.
And then the money piece.
And obviously, then you have to find the time to get the money, which is obviously number 1 priority.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's the, it's not like the U.S. government where they just print some money up and we're good to go. We have to work for it.
Yeah. So. And that was the biggest thing is I told my mom before this Dakar, I said, if we don't have the money, we're not going to go. Mm-hmm. And then problem is, then you start talking to so many people. And even though we don't have the money, we're still going to go. We have most of it paid for, I think. But yeah. It's all the little things, when you get a $2,000 bill here and a $2,000 bill there, and ASO sends you an $11,000 bill. So that way, if you win the stage, you get a medal, which I'm not, because that's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's crazy. There's all these little, I guess, it's to be expected, right? It's all these little costs that sneak up. It's one thing for the entry fee, but then it's another when they start, I know that the Dakar has payment deadlines, if we don't have a check by this, they're any other bill collector. So
I got really this year and we've been messaging the guy like crazy. I think his name is Ronan. Mm-hmm. Don't want to get him in trouble. I don't think he will get in trouble for this. But yeah, he's made it obviously possible because I think we turned in our first payment a couple weeks late. Mm-hmm. Late.
Yeah. So I think Mason really struggled with fundraising for a third year. your friends and your family and people in North American rally, or actually all over the world, want to see you there, and they think it's important to grow the sport. But Mason feels like a third time people get a little bit fatigued by your ask. So then sort of challenged to ask different people. And it's difficult to find people when your circle, keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Your ask getting bigger and bigger.
You think about like all the other people that also want to go to Dakar, like obviously it's like the saying, right? Like you got to do what's right for you first. Like you have to make sure you can survive before you help other people. Yeah. But also like I've done Dakar twice. This is what I was thinking before I took everybody's help and whatever to get there. But I would think like, people like Ryan Areno want to go one day, Yeah. Like I'm not the only one to go.
Yeah. I think just being thoughtful about the resources you're taking from people is, obviously you have to be grateful and all that, but only take as much as you need and save some for the other people.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously, well, Lisa, you would know better than anybody that I think I've talked to is the amount of like coordination and just how big of an undertaking this is, especially, we want to say later in the game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because Mason's really good with the bike piece of it. And he knows what equipment he needs, but everything else is not really his thing. Travel, wire transfers, just communication with the ASO, I don't know, the medical checks you need. There's kind of a lot, and it's not like I'm a stay-at-home mom, so it's really like a second job sometimes. Yeah. It's tough, but I think it's important if you want to be a rally racer, it's important for Mason to be there.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone says it's kind of the only important race of the year.
It's the only one that matters.
Yeah. I think that's, it's an interesting thing because it is, the results from the Dakar, even though, the manufacturers know it, a good result at the Dakar will literally sell bikes on what in this case is going to be January 20th, right. So depending on what team's on top, who's doing what, that's, this is obviously it's a very important piece of the puzzle, even with Cove. The fact that they finished last year, the way that the bikes even just finished, regardless of the position, that for sure had an effect on the bottom line. So, yeah. For a racer as well, being there, getting the event done. And I don't know, my personal, I feel like it kind of sucks, right? You could be a great rally racer everywhere else, but then people will judge you like, well, you haven't done the Dakar. You haven't finished a Dakar. Yeah. Going, dude, I ride 6 Dakars a year, just because I don't do the Dakar doesn't mean, so I guess it's, I don't know. That's a little bit. So
it's also my race compared to all the other ones. Like it's the only one with navigation and like riding.
Yeah. That house.
Morocco, super good.
Morocco just and Saudi.
The style of navigation, I feel like they actually put a little bit more effort into, like the navigation is actually tricky and you can get really lost. And the riding is like what I'm used to, the rocks and the desert and big washes, and all the other races I feel like are just WRC style, like flat track everywhere, motocross rider stuff.
Hanging a leg off, backing the bike into a corner.
Yeah. You have spread out across the desert like Hare and Hound start, and in Andalusia, or I don't know what are the other races, but
Sonora.
It's like you're on a straight, you just follow in the one track. If you're the one opening, everybody sees exactly where you went. They're going to take the same line because it's the fastest line.
Yeah.
But Saudi, you can cut the desert as much as you want, and it's up to you to find the fastest line.
Yeah. Yeah, fastest distance between the or shortest distance between the waypoints wins, right?
That's how I've been riding.
Nice.
Even in the prologues, I cut the course, and they say it's like not allowed, right? But also, I pretty much did the course because I got all the waypoints.
Yeah. Well, and that's an interesting. I heard about it. I think it was on the last prologue that they said, yeah, no, like cutting the course. But then from a few different people, I heard that there were still lines. People were still doing it. It's not like it was a.
And at that one, I'm pretty sure I was like the first one to make the lines. I was pretty stoked. So it's all the top guys that are cheating. It's no one further back because I was the first one.
Yeah. And so
that's like crazy jacked up thing, right? Like it's everybody else that's doing the race.
Yeah. I'm kidding. You know? You're not the only one. Everybody's in on that same party. So
but also be able to read the road book and say there's a waypoint at this kilometer, and like let's say there's a waypoint at kilometer 20. I know I can get off the course as much as I want until then. Mm-hmm. Like I'm at kilometer 15 and there's no waypoint till 20. I can take it easy, like for the stress of waypoints and stuff like that.
Yeah. You just focus on the riding side of it. Like you can turn off the navigation for a second, let the brain relax, and then just ride. Yeah.
Like for sure, there's still notes in between and you got to make the left or the right, but you don't have to make sure you hit the left exactly on the center. You can cut the corner a bunch and like you can be more flowy, you know, but when there's a waypoint, it's full focus, do everything exactly perfect, stay exact course, or you're going to be losing time. You're going to miss waypoint, going to get a penalty.
Yeah. Yeah. You won't be able to make that time up. You have to ride way, way faster to get it, which is almost impossible.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to count on somebody else missing a waypoint and help balance things out.
Yeah.
So you guys have been, Carter, you and Mason, you guys have been racing, or I mean, I don't know how many years now, but doing a lot of testing on the bikes currently. How has that been?
The Cove or
the Cove, well, and you.
So Carter's a KTM supported rider.
Ah, nice.
So he's been doing a lot of stuff on his KTM because, like we said, he's only supported. He doesn't get paid.
Yeah. But definitely out riding. Well, that's actually, an interesting one. And we haven't actually done an episode, but Carter, you just got done with the 1,000.
Yeah.
How was
when
the important part?
The part. Yeah. Is something about a top podium, first place, something like that.
Up there with all the other guys.
No big deal. Carter got in sort of last minute, and it was like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks before.
Carter got the call, didn't answer it. I got the call saying, make Carter answer the call. Answer the call. It's like,
I said, give me 2 days and I'll figure out if I can even get everything ready to go.
Yeah.
Put the whole chase crew, him, my dad, Felipe.
Mm-hmm.
Bike to pre-run.
They showed up with 3 bikes, 2 or 3 bikes.
2 bikes.
2 500s, all the spare parts. They were like more prepped than anyone else out there pre-running.
Nice.
Doing it right. Put in the work. Smoked everybody in his section.
Yeah.
Probably the part of the whole race.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying I had the hardest section in the race.
Oh, I could tell you do. Nobody likes San Felipe.
I like it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we could tell.
Wait, what do you want to do? The liaison roads or the freaking riding?
Well, I mean, basically that's what they did. Everybody did, not to talk trash, but everybody did the liaison to Carter's section.
Yeah, really.
It is all fire roads. I mean, a lot of it. Yeah, there's some rough sections and, blah, blah, blah. The silt beds are not, something to be messed with, but 70 miles. I mean, that Zoo Road section, 70 some odd miles just to 3 poles is all whoops the whole way.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's also important to mention that Carter's a teammate Chavo, that reason Carter could be there, showed up and raced with a broken leg. So like, there's like a lot of trash talking.
Yeah. I mean, so pre-running, I guess, I don't think it was a bad crash, but he broke one of the two bones in his lower part of his leg. And everybody saw him walking around, and he was walking around fine. Like, right, there's no way there's anything wrong with him. And he got home, got an x-ray, and it was just like clean through. I was like, there's no way.
Ow.
Like, yeah,
It was like,
crazy.
he didn't, he just got on the bike, did what he could, right? Traded.
Yeah.
Yeah, started it, made up some time, and then, I mean, it was a whole process.
Good experience for Carter. I think he's like the youngest person to be on a winning team or whatever.
First time KTM's won Baja 1000. Carter's probably the youngest to win on a bike overall.
I mean, you're probably the Baja historian, but
no. I wish I knew more. I only recently I come from the car background, so
You probably know way more than us.
yeah, but interest.
yeah. But definitely, we agree. You had the toughest section, but at least you got a little bit of chocolate cake. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the wet dirt was good until we got up in the mountains and I couldn't see. Because when I was down in San Felipe, we had a yellow lens on the bike, and I wanted the lights a little bit brighter, and the lens I felt like was dimming it down. So I flicked that thing off, and definitely could have used it up in the fog in the mountains.
Granted, he was running moto-minded Baja Designs helmet light setup, along with 2 Baja Designs lights on the front.
Yeah, my section was pretty long.
Nobody had brighter lights than Carter, and it wasn't enough for him.
Yeah, I had like 5.5 hours on the bike or something like that, so almost 6 hours, I think. And my battery pack for the helmet light died with like 2 hours to go. So that was like a problem on our end, not testing stuff and figuring out.
Yeah.
We thought
Not enough time.
They ran
honestly.
the light, right, in the hotel or whatever, like timed it. And the hotel was okay, but in the race, maybe something with the temperature or something.
Yeah. Colder temps. Lithium batteries don't like colder temperatures.
Yeah, it was cold for sure up in the mountains, especially after I was soaked.
And you said you went off a cliff, Carter?
Yeah, yeah. So
Let's not skip over that.
I'm not the only one to do it. We'll get to that. So you come, I don't even know Mexico. So you do, it's right before you get on the highway section to go to the goat trail, up that walk, up like that canyon. So I pre-ran that. And when I pre-ran, Colton Udall was telling me there's 2 lines, and apparently he made that line. And there's a drop in to the left of where I went off like the 15-foot drop.
Cool.
And so I pre-ran it, whatever, never saw this, but on Fishgistics, whatever, Instagram, I saw like a car at the bottom of it. Like they took a picture of it and they're like, watch out for this. And I'm leading, whatever. I'm probably doing like 80 down this road, and it got dark. Like I could tell it was something, like something dropped out. I don't know. I was like, I fully locked it up. I like got to the edge and was like, off of it, straight to flat.
You look down, the bike lights pointed straight forward, huh?
Dude,
There's
like,
no light below you.
No, yeah. I could tell it was like a drop because right? It gets dark.
Yeah.
There's no trail.
Yeah, there's a certain darkness, a certain abyss.
Yeah, but I went off that, and after the race, I talked to Clayton about that, and he said he went off the same thing, but he ended up crashing or something. I mean, he kept going, but
You see everybody's line, right? Like there's no tracks. The rain wash all the tracks away.
yeah, that's another thing, like being the first one through, like there's no tracks. And Clayton was telling me, like, I got lost, and I guess he was like kind of on the same line as me. And I kind of started going up the biggest hill there when I was supposed to be going up the wash, you know?
Yeah.
Circles for sure.
Said he was looking for a waypoint. He
There's
missed
a
the
video.
waypoint, had to turn around at the waypoint. That's rally.
I didn't turn around. I went like straight across through the trees. Like, so it was a wash that split, and I was like, oh, they must have put the VCP like midway into the other track. But I knew that faster. So I went straight across through the trees, and I like somehow picked it up.
Nice.
And that was earlier into my section. I like 1070.
Yeah.
But I don't know, that stuff up in the mountains was pretty scary.
The Cliff car going on.
Cows.
There was a video. People did a flip in a car.
Yeah, there is a video of a Razor going off that and doing a front flip.
Ugh. Yeah, that was. I think that was definitely, the weather made it tricky. Like, yeah, I'm sure it probably made the riding better, but like you're saying, now you're worried about washouts, and it doesn't take much of a washout to to send you for a ride.
I think it was heavy enough, to wash every single line away. Couldn't see anything, but it made it nice because the locals that drove out and the other washes down in San Felipe, like Colton taught me this, you like ride on the like car line, and you could see when they go over a rock, the rock will be sticking out of the line.
Mm-hmm.
So I based on like those lines, and the places those guys go out there is just insane. Like that sand is so deep to drive your 2-wheel drive vehicle out there, and I don't know, stay out there for the night.
Yeah.
Come through though.
Yeah, that's definitely it's an interesting thing. You'll be in the middle of nowhere and have exactly zero ideas on how anybody could get out there, but yet they're there in a Honda Civic.
I mean, a lot of the times I was waking the people up, like they'd be on cots and stuff.
Yeah.
I rolled up actually, I don't know if I should say this, but I rolled up to like one of those Baja pits, and they're like all laying down in their cots, and I was like, I need some gas.
Yeah, that's going to be, I mean, they got to be on their toes. There's got to be, I've seen and I've camped out with some of the Baja Pits guys, and yeah, I mean, they do a great service, but yeah, they need to be on something like that lead bike. Like they should know mile by mile pretty much where you're at. Because coming in hot.
Yeah, sure. I rolled up. I was like, there's no way. They jumped up quick, but I was like, I need gas.
Oh crap! Was this a self-service pit? Did they just leave the quick fill out for you?
I was gonna grab it.
You're all fine. I'll just do it myself.
Yeah,
I'm in a little bit of a hurry here. Not trying to to rain on your parade.
No, but the experience down there was good, and
nice.
I want to go back, but I don't know.
Yeah,
just we'll figure it out.
Yeah, first Baja race.
Yeah, first time riding down there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot to see, and well, yeah, you did. I mean, notoriously known. I mean, the washes down in San Felipe, the whoop sections. That's as bad as it gets. And the interesting thing is that if you run that section, you guys ran north out of San Felipe. If you turn around and ride it heading in, it's a whole nother, like, it might as well be in another country. Like the whoop, the face of the whoop isn't as sharp, and I mean, it's like you could go. As fast as you can, know
what you're talking about, because it's like hitting a wall when you're going north.
Yeah, and a big wall, 40-inch truck, trophy truck tires that they kind of make a little hole. Yeah,
the whoops are definitely huge.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of Havasu in one of the sections.
Okay, yeah, so there are some similarities of the stuff that you've raced out here.
Yeah, I mean, at a GP race, just like the size of the whoops that get created, they're just
the holes at that point. I don't even know if it's still considered a whoop.
Yeah,
nice.
They're crazy.
Very nice. So, are you going to head over to Dakar this year? Help support?
No.
Okay.
Too much dinero.
Yeah. Yeah. It's.
Oh yeah, I have a race also on the 20th.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So gotta get ready.
Very nice. Yeah, that's I mean, you do about how many races are you doing a year?
Probably 15, like, because like just the local stuff and like Best in the Desert if we go to those. But the Hare and Hound should have 8 rounds this year.
Nice.
There's 6 right now. I heard there's supposed to be 8. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice. And so you're like Mom mentioned, you're on the KTM riding that for 450s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Last year was my first year. I ended up 3rd in the championship.
Nice. Yeah, that was after graduating out of the 250 class. Right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Top
Yeah.
down. Ew.
Yeah, I left with the championship.
There you go. Oh, you moved up. So many. I'm used to on the car racing side of it. So many people love to sandbag. So it's like, it's awesome. You know, win the championship, move on up, and then obviously, you know, get some podiums and get it going. I mean, is it really that big a gap, a race 250 to a race 450 as far as the bike goes, horsepower, that kind of thing?
Big time.
Okay.
Top speed right away.
You can still get beat by a 250, but the power is.
Ty Renshaw built my race motor for last year or this year, and that thing was ripping.
Spicy.
For sure.
Extra spicy.
I think Dalton could tell you. On the start, he wasn't stoked after the race.
Oops, he gave you more power than he was.
And he's one of them get ECUs. Brings my.
Mason really helped out with my ECU. My bike pulled hard for sure.
Nice. So that's something. I mean, it definitely, you know, kind of going back to Mason on that. You've been doing a lot of testing, like literally like these last couple of weeks, right? I've been keeping up. I am a subscriber on your Instagram.
Yeah.
So for those playing the home game, you're not going to get that kind of insight unless you get subscribed. But you've been doing
$5.
Yeah, see, it's not that bad. Yeah, help support the cause.
My suspension settings the other day. I almost did it.
Ooh, now don't want to give away too much of the secret sauce, but
At the race when it's kind of too late for most people. I mean, no one's running what I'm running.
yeah,
What I have is pretty dang good from Brandon Peterson at AHM.
mm-hmm.
I ended up calling up Colton Udall because I know he's like the guy when it comes to Honda, right? And he's been helping Carter a lot. And I said, I'm going to need some help for this Dakar. I'm going to want to have a chance. And he was like, well, you need some Brandon Peterson suspension then.
Yeah.
So basically, like, I've met Brandon before, but he did like the real introduction, I guess. Like, I guess he did the convincing.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, Brandon's been helping me these last couple of weeks and been doing a lot of driving, a lot of testing. Like, bring the bike out to the Fenster Maker's property near Colton Udall.
Mm-hmm.
Riding with Colton Udall, except he went to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, just trying to take the advice from everybody.
Yeah.
Go and adjust the clickers, bring it back to AHM, get the clickers back in the middle by changing the valving a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
My suspension was really close, like actually from the beginning, because obviously Brandon has a lot of experience with Showa and stuff. Like, he did some calculation with the springs and the valving and was able to like adapt a 450X desert setting to my Cove, and I was actually really impressed. So
Nice.
that's good. The hard part about rally is like getting a bike that works on flat roads and for going off cliffs like Carter or
Carter, who does your suspension?
AHM.
Okay, AHM too. Nice.
And yeah, I think the main thing for me is like, I want the bike to work good in the rocks. And when I make that stupid mistake where I accidentally launch off a dune or a cliff, and when I land, I don't want to break my wrists or my ankles.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something my KTM did pretty good in the past with the WP guys.
Mm-hmm.
They would have found a pretty good setting. And I think we're pretty close now with Brandon.
Yeah. And
everything changes once you get to the race, right? Like, that's when you know if you did a good job testing at home. Like, that's when you really know. And yeah, never actually ridden my race bike yet. I've just got some pictures of it this morning in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Of the new, I think I sent them to our group chat.
Yeah.
The American Rally group chat. Pretty fire stuff over there.
It is.
We just, plenty of good information coming from the Facebook Messenger group, local Ryan Norino, and everybody all about all things rally. North America, Canada guys.
Yeah.
Mexico.
All of it. Yeah, that, and that's an interesting, like, I saw the pictures and we've talked to Gary, and I know that you're going to be getting the Gen 2 bike when you get out, you get out there. new engine, right?
Yeah.
And my understanding is that they put the thing on a diet. It's like, I think I heard 10 kilos loosely. I don't know. There's been some weight loss in that engine.
30 pounds less, but it's supposed to hold another gallon of gas.
Okay.
And I pictures, yeah. Like the bar mount, a lot of the things are like, they get a lot of the main things right, and then they just like screw up the little things.
I mean, at least the bar mounts aren't cast anymore.
Like the bar mounts look good, but the bar risers they put them on look like they'll just freaking snap off.
Yeah.
So for sure, there's work to do when I get to Dubai,
Yeah.
but it's kind of be expected, right? Like, because obviously they don't know, they don't have the experience that all the other companies and brands have. But I feel like just
Into the brake.
yeah. Like the handguard is bolted straight into the caliper of the clutch and the front brake.
Master cylinder.
So I'm the master cylinder. So I'm bringing some of Cherry's handguards, the wraparound ones. And the new ones are all full plastic, but yeah.
Just the little things. I wonder. It's interesting. I mean, like on the triple clamp setup, who of the bike, if somebody already has one that could be adapted to work.
Yeah, it seems like a full on, and I really hope their new triple clamps aren't different, and I can bring my same forks. Otherwise, I got to make that work when I get there. Like, so many little things that they do similar,
Yeah.
Like most things are really, really close. Like, the front rotor. This is the silliest thing, right? Their front rotor size stock is a 288. You can't buy that from any rotor company anywhere ever, right? So, like, I have to, because I'm running the Honda front end. The bike comes with the Nissan caliper, but it's a little different than like the newer style. So I had to get new caliper, new adapter, and I need to bring all my own front rotors, because the rotor size they pick is just different than everybody else.
Yeah.
Like
usually they're it's either 320 or 280. Yeah,
like 260, 270, 280, 298.
Got it.
Like the Dakar size for all the other companies, right? Like that's what they call it. I just bought some Moto Master rotors the other day.
I think these are
from Technical Touch.
Nice.
That was not cheap.
No, I've seen the prices. I have shiny object syndrome, so I've been looking to put that on my 501.
I just got the 2 instead of the 300 because for one, they didn't have it in stock. And also I've been running it. I think the floating rotor makes a big difference over the not floating rotor. And, yeah, I think it'll be enough. Yeah. Just bleeding the brakes every day like normal, and I'm not too worried about it. The rear rotor, actually, I don't know. It's kind of thick. It's like 5 millimeters or something.
Ooh.
Or I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Well, I mean, it has to handle heat, but it's crazy that it would go that big. And I mean, and that thing looks like Swiss cheese too. These guys, they did not, they weren't worried about losing the material on it.
Yeah.
So nice. So what, as far as development and the stuff that you've already learned, have you talked to Cove? Have they made any changes to the bike that they're bringing to you, like any kind of setup stuff, so that they're
something that I was really surprised to see? I asked originally was to have clear front tanks, right? Like made out of a clear. And originally they said there's not enough time, right? And I just got these pictures, and actually the tanks are clear underneath, so I'll actually be able to see how much fuel is in the bike.
Nice.
I know a rear tank, but anyways, I need to bring a sander and do a new paint job because Effective Soft helped us design the graphics, and we explained to them we need it in these colors, and that didn't happen. So that was pretty disappointing. Yeah. But anyway, it's nothing you can't fix when you get there, right? Like it's just like the little things that we're working on. But I think me and my dad, Felipe, Montana Mike, friend Jesus from Spain. He runs the China Racing road racing team
Mm-hmm.
in Spain. Like he's team manager for them. And the way he runs the team is actually proper. So we've been working together, and he's out there right now looking at all tools and spare parts, going over the bike and making sure I'm ready. I was originally there on like the 15th or the 16th, but I realized I needed more days.
Mm-hmm. So
I got my suspension all loaded up yesterday. So
okay.
everything is to the last minute, not finished packing. Actually still waiting on new gear bags.
Nice.
Because all we have is KTM OGO bags.
Ah, are you getting the sticking with OGO, or what are you doing?
Yeah, normally I like OGO, but also we're trying to find something that doesn't weigh so much. Because when you can only have 50 pounds in each bag, I'm at like 8 gear bags right now. We're whole team, right? Like we are the team.
I don't recommend it.
No, dude. I mean, you would think that. I mean, the airlines are going to love you because of baggage fees.
And now I have actually double. So,
wow.
Yeah, and you have to worry about your suitcases making it too. Like
if anything doesn't show up, I'm a little bit screwed.
Mason had, I think, 4 gear bags delayed like 2 weeks coming home. Yeah, so you kind of have to like plan your flight so you get like a direct flight, because if you have 2 or 3 layovers, the chances of your bag's not making it on the next plane, or
if my suspension doesn't show up, I'll be really, really, really not as competitive.
Yeah, in not the right place. I mean, is that something though that you might be able to plan? I don't know, maybe hedge your bets and say like, okay, worst case scenario, I need these springs and I need a shim stack that looks like this, and this will get me close enough.
Yeah, for sure. A big thing is the springs, but I don't know, man. There's not the one suspension guy I found. He's leaving like the day after I arrived, so he's going to help me do everything. I learned how to service everything the other day, literally yesterday. A lot of it is similar to the WP components.
Mm-hmm.
So getting used to it is, I think, not so difficult. But when it comes to doing the valving, I don't actually even know how to read a shim setting list. So that's like definitely on the list of things I need to learn still.
Yeah.
I do most things except for the suspension. Because I always just say, I'll just let the professional do it because, it's going to be done proper. And it's like a safety thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
The motor blows up in the air. That's whatever. But like, as long as you get to the air.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's crazy how big of a deal suspension will change the entirety of the bike. And it could go from dangerous to safe and vice versa.
Yeah. You see like the videos of people's forks collapsing, or I don't know, the forks just fall out of the top tube. That's kind of why I was like really serious about getting the suspension done properly, like having proper suspension. So going to AHM was no brainer for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely seeing, well, obviously we've been seeing their stuff on a lot of the Baja bikes and abroad. I mean, it's pretty easy to pick out their logo, which has been really awesome.
They have Ty Masterpool, another privateer guy doing everything on his own, basically getting crazy finishes. So it's pretty cool of them to support everybody.
Nice. So
and they have the experience. So
yeah, well, little by little. And so Carter kind of mentioned it earlier about helping tuning and some ECU stuff. And so what else? It sounds like you do a lot. I'm not even going to ask. Do you build engines and suspension on the kitchen table?
There.
How do we do this? How does this work?
So job, great. The garage, better. In the house, you can't beat it. Yeah. Huge working area in the living room table.
TV for YouTube to look it up.
Yeah, like you can't beat it.
Yeah, makes complete sense. Yeah, I would love to have dinner, but since the top end is completely disassembled on the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we just sit on the couch for dinner and keep the important stuff on the table.
Oh, gotcha. So there's nicks in the table that we know that are definitely not from cutlery. It's
yeah, but it's not
engine cases
from gluing the puzzles together.
We've had a KTM engine on our Lazy Susan on our kitchen table for a couple of days before. You were really excited about it.
When you get a factory motor at your house, like how do you not just leave it in the living room for
put it on the middle of the kitchen table and spun it around every time he ate cereal?
I mean, it's a cool centerpiece,
it is a win.
That's normal, right?
Yeah, right, in a moto house, right?
And when we got the Cove, my whole family rode the bike through the house, even Lexi. Well, not my mom.
Well,
she was mad, but
you've been to our house. You can basically ride the front door and out the back door.
So we were doing laps around the house, and the pit stop was mid house. Then we did the rider swap, and then we just basically did a race.
Oh my God, that's wild. Well, I mean, you guys are up in an area. I mean, that's it's cool because you have, I mean, besides having to ride through the house or wanting to ride through the house, you could just basically go out your backyard and you've got a bunch of road books and stuff out of there now.
Yeah, it's been super cool. We did. We had a guy. His YouTube channel is Everride.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Tyler from Everride, and another guy, Dirt Bike, BYK.
Yeah.
They came out here. We did some cool stuff. Like we just left on our coves. Lexi took the dirt bikes side by side into the mountains. My brother came, did a full day of riding. The next day, Jubal Brown, the media website guy for Cove and a bunch of other crazy companies.
Mm-hmm.
He came out the next day. Carter and I did like a photo shoot with their gear. We just all left from the house.
Nice.
And we said, hey, bring your Cove. It's a ride day.
Nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think that's a definite plus to be able to just train, right out of the gate. You don't have to like drive anywhere to really do it. I mean, obviously, I'm sure you're driving to places, but if you need to test something really quick, I think that's the ideal.
Yeah.
Ideal setup. It's nice. So
like, we're really good for fitness and like technical riding.
Mm-hmm.
But as the problem I found when I was doing the testing with my Cove is like, you want to set your bike up for the desert, you actually have to go to the desert. Like that's why I had to go drive an hour and a half away, set up camp at my friend's house near Johnson Valley. And like, that's basically where I was doing all the testing is like Big Bear, Johnson Valley area.
Yeah.
Like,
that kind of jives a little bit more with what you see out in Saudi.
Yeah.
Obviously not the dune part, but at least the rougher sections.
For me, the worst part about testing is like what you have to test for is the bike going to throw you on the ground, or are you going to get hurt really bad when you hit something at 100 miles an hour? The problem is to test like that, like to test for that, you have to actually really fast and risk like getting really hurt. Like you can do it in slow increments, right? Like you find the confidence, like work on it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like if you have to know that your bike's going to work that speed when you get to the race. That's why it's important to do it here. Like if you get to it takes you 3 days to be comfortable riding the bike fast, you lost so much time, right? Like to hesitate, let off the gas over the roller, like the little bump in the dunes. And like, I've never actually had so much time on my suspension and stuff since this year, I guess. And when I get to Dubai, hopefully I have another 10 days on the race bike.
Yeah, I kind of figure that out. I mean, it'll be really curious to see, that you've been spending so much time on the Gen 1 and then go to the Gen 2 in short order and see how like you really note the improvements.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hear the motor is way better. I know Niels is out there riding the new bikes and I haven't heard anything from them, but if it's anything like the Gen 1, I think it's enough. It's enough to win a stage, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Like the pace the bike can hold, I think, is definitely there. Like,
yeah. Now,
like a lot of riders set up like the little things, like what height you can have your bars at, right? Like that's the thing. It's a dirt bike. It's got a motor, a frame, handlebars, suspension.
Yeah, but it's like it's figuring out every last little thing. I mean, the bar bend, because I mean, it's one thing to like, okay, well, I've got a 250-mile race, no big deal. You don't notice that maybe this or that as quickly, but now add 20 days or 15 days of racing, literally long distances every single day, except for the rest day. All the little things. Did I pick the right grips? Is this the right bar bend? Is the lever in the right position?
My own bars. I'm bringing my own suspension. I still haven't confirmed if I have tires or not. I think most of the stuff is still coming to Dubai, but I have no idea.
Yeah. So
I'm trying to bring basically a whole bike just in case.
Yeah. All the critical components.
Yeah.
Nice.
Like, I'm pretty confident with my dad and Felipe and Montana Mike. Like,
yeah,
we're getting the work done. Whatever needs to happen, the bike is going to be ready every morning, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it's a known recipe. You guys have been doing this for a while.
Yeah. We've been working together for a long time. Everybody's friends. We're able to be around each other. Pretty important.
Yeah. More or less since you've been born. It's a team effort. It's been a team effort for a while. So I'm curious
to have a friend that will take a month off their personal life and their company that they, Felipe is a contractor and has a huge company.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a pretty big sacrifice to have a friend that would be willing to do that and come sleep in a tent and help you. That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, and that's so let's I was curious to know about that. Like, it's getting close to countdown. Mason's getting ready to head out to do testing and start, on that side of it. But at least on your guys' side, like, what are the things that are left? Like, I mean, is this still a bunch of question marks on things? I mean, is everything kind of dialed in and has due dates? I mean, what does the business side of this look like?
Well, I mean, if you're asking about money or logistics,
logistics.
The logistics are Mason and Larry flying out on the 20th, and Felipe and Montana Mike are coming, I think, the 29th. So Mason and Larry are going to miss Christmas, and Mike and Felipe are going to miss New Year's Eve. But so basically they fly into Dubai, and then from Dubai they'll fly into Alula and spend the night New Year's Eve. And then they're going to wait for Mason. So what became apparent to me, or really necessary right away, is even though Mason raised enough money to get a camper, you really need more than that, because you might need a truck. 4 people, and you have 8 gear bags, and you need a canopy and tents, and you need a generator, and maybe all air compressors and things that you can't just like go put in your suitcase. So Mason did engage Dustco to kind of basically, can we park next to you, and can you handle some of the logistics? So they handled helping him rent a camper, and they brought it to Barcelona and put it on the boat, and they'll pick it up from the port in Yanbu and deliver it to the bivouac, and then kind of be the people that they can piggyback off of.
Wow.
So obviously that is a big cost. So you're paying basically for a support team, but you're still doing all your own work. You're bringing your own mechanics.
I really just needed the vehicle to tow the stuff.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Maybe a tire, maybe a compressor.
I think that there's enough to do on a daily basis that 3 or 4 of the things that you need extra help for, you don't want to skip out on. Obviously, everything budget consideration. So you're trying to do everything as cheap as you can, but you also have to set yourself up to succeed if you're going to take the leap and go there.
Yeah.
And, it's pretty easy to, hit up all your friends and local businesses or whatever. But really, there's a couple people that help Mason in larger chunks that he should, talk about a little bit, because those are the people that really made it possible for him to.
Everybody made it possible.
Right. Everybody made it possible. But there's some major sponsors of his.
I have a real title sponsor for the first time. This is my first time having a helmet sponsor,
Nice.
Pretty exciting. Effective Soft. The guy's name is Alex, and we've done some rally stuff with him in the past.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw him, you'd know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
You probably know who he is anyways, but
yeah.
I'm sure most people in the American rally scene know who he is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. We actually talked to him yesterday. So you'll
his company. Okay. When we talk about the level of racing,
mm-hmm.
for sure what he does can make you go up pretty easy, insane amounts. Thinking about the technology that you can implement. KTM and Honda, they do a little bit, right? With the ride-by-wire and electronic throttle body.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm talking about software, for navigation to make it easier, or not easier, but the navigation will still be hard, but the way you can see the navigation,
mm-hmm.
if they have this electronic or the iPad,
mm-hmm.
electronic road book, and nobody can see it, who's going to be the first to make it seeable?
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of stuff we can do.
Yeah. To help continue. I mean, that's been the biggest thing, right? Is the cost entry barrier for people to get into rally, the availability of road books. What's the best entry level system to go out and get it done. And that's been a big, and yeah, I was talking to Alex yesterday, and on the website and the work that they do and the team, is absolutely, it's very impressive, the stuff that they're involved in.
They've done so much in so little time. We gave them, we're all right, you have a week. If you don't give me the money, I'm just not going to Dakar. That's simple. Not rude, but
yeah, seriously, that's I think by the time this airs, it will be. So we were just talking to Willem about it, and he's working on his Dakar 2025, and exactly what you just said is what's crazy about it, is to even say, okay, I'm going to get ready for the Dakar for the next year. I'm going to spend the next year getting ready for the Dakar. Now you've been a few times to the Dakar already, but it doesn't make it any easier. And it makes it even harder when it's 6 weeks, 3 months, before the Dakar. And it's okay, this is going to happen. Now it's time to scramble,
Try doing it in a month or two,
Yeah. Basically, because even though the race is in January, there's no way, you
have to be accepted too, right? It doesn't matter how much you prepare. Dakar can just say, oh, you're not in.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing, because for my first car, I wasn't accepted. I didn't win the Road to Dakar challenge thing. I thought we planned at the beginning of the year. All right, we're going. I go to Sonora. I don't win it.
Mm-hmm.
We go to the Morocco rally, and at Rally du Maroc, that's when I find out I'm accepted.
Nice.
And that's October. So,
yeah. And that's, it's a pins and needles operation the whole way. There's all these little, it sounds like there's things that could fall through and make it, not possible.
Yeah. Something cool I did this time was, when I was asking people for money,
mm-hmm.
I asked them to not send it to me until I could confirm that I was going to get enough from enough people.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was like, makes it a lot less stressful too. Like, then you don't have to worry about giving money back because you just don't take it unless you're going, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is like something different that I did this year when fundraising. Yeah. I didn't do a GoFundMe. Like, it's just like too much of that kind of stuff. I did promote my Instagram subscribers thing for the first time. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it like whatever, you know?
Yeah.
But also, it definitely helps pay the phone bill when my dad's sitting in the motorhome. And, you know, now Felipe and now Montana Mike. It's like, and then the food and then the gas. I'm not making $1 million on the Instagram thing, but I'm just trying to say, like, trying to do it the least greedy way.
Yeah. Yeah. And the most, I mean, it's got to be cost effective, you know, in the most cost effective way. And you got to stretch everything. And that's what, like we were talking about earlier, it's like the little details, right? Like, I know your dad does the updates and he really like pushes a lot of stuff to keep everybody in the loop, you know?
Yeah.
And I think people take that for granted that that's in another country. There's a data plan. There's a phone bill. There's a lot, like, even stuff like that is super simple to overlook.
Yeah.
So.
It's also something like I wanted to make sure we did good. Like, for example, YouTube. Like, everybody has YouTube, but not everybody does it in English. I need someone to translate my videos into other languages. Then you get more people to watch it. I don't know. There's so many things.
Well, I've been dabbling in that kind of stuff, and I can tell you that AI is very scary at translating.
I'm just basically trying to not make money off of friends.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest thing is that the people support you, you know, in your mission and what you've done for what you've already done. So that's, you know.
I feel like I need something also, like to not make money off of friends. What I mean by that is like, everybody's my friend, right? Like, that's like probably a bad way to say things, but I'd rather make money off of like a manufacturer. Yeah. I want it to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a paycheck when it becomes when it's the job, you know, you're paid as an athlete, you know, you're paid to do certain things, you know, paid to develop. I mean, from at least what I can tell from 50,000 feet and away, and, you know, you're just north of where I'm at, but you're doing a lot of development and testing. And I don't know who else on the team for COVID does that kind of stuff, you know? And so you're working on what I want to see, or what I think where we're going to see is that you're going to have the bike that they want. You have the Gen 2 bike that had the same rally bike that they do, but you've got the recipe down. Like, you know, the suspension's better, just all these little things.
Like, why would I be the only one on it? If they want like success, everybody should be on it. Then everybody can share the same parts. Like, it doesn't matter what you have in the bivouac. Can you help each other during the stage?
Yeah, no, exactly.
That was kind of a weird thing for me. And also, I didn't want to ride the old bike because, you know, when that new KTM comes out, doesn't everybody want that new KTM?
Yeah.
When the new Yamaha came out, everybody's like, oh, wow, it's new. Like, you got to get it, right? Because it's been the same for a million years. Yeah. I feel like no matter how new something is, like, oh, it's only been 1 year since the change or whatever. I don't know. I just want the new stuff because it's cool.
New is supposed to be better.
Yeah, it's new is supposed to be better, right? So.
Yeah. I mean, if you like, and that's how I look at it. I mean, this is, you know, and I think a lot of people share my opinion. Cove being a new brand, they've got some great riders, you know, not to detract from them, but you have one being one of the youngest competitors in the Dakar, stage winner, correct? Youngest stage winner.
Yeah.
You know, you've shown that you can navigate. You've shown these guys the fast way around, you know, a road book out there with stage wins. So for me, like, I see it as like, he better have, there's not a question mark there. He better have the latest and greatest, because there's going to be, not only is there going to be people watching, and I mean, it's not, I don't want to take this as putting pressure on you, but for the brand and what they are able to do and what you've already done is already like, it's a known recipe. So yeah, you should have the latest bike, you know, and I think that with the testing, again, what you've already done, you know, just to help make the bike better for you, they should take notice of that and be wondering like, okay, what's all of this? Like, why is he going this route? Why is he doing this? You know, and because they have a factory team, and I don't know, maybe help us understand that is there is a line, right? You're not Factory Cove. You're privateer under the KORR.
I think it's for them, it's a budget thing, right? Like, again, I'm looking for a ride at the end of the year. They already have all their riders. The money's already been spent. Like, they can't afford to actually pay me, apparently. They're not showing up with the trucks like KTM or Honda or Hero, you know? Like, they're definitely doing it differently for some reason. I don't know, like, what's actually going on.
Yeah.
But anyways, having the opportunity to have the bike and access to the manufacturing company, Cove, and all the engineers in China, and like, you ask for the tanks to be made out of clear plastic instead of white plastic, and they do it. That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Like, the little things, and I get to do it my own way. Like, I get to go to Dubai, take the bike, and do whatever I want. Yeah, I have to pay. Right? Like, they're not doing it for free, which really is obviously not so factory.
Yeah.
But we're doing it the right way. Like, and I know that we're doing it the right way because I feel like I know what the right way is, you know? And now I think I know what like a winning bike should feel like. And I know how to make this bike. I think I know how to make this bike feel like a winning bike.
Yeah.
And when you get to do something your own way, it's kind of hard to beat it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's in like your mom was talking right now, like all these little things, you know, putting all these things together, like the stuff that you take, I don't want to say you take for granted, but it's like, all right, cool. We're going racing. You already know, like, you know, the easy up, the generator, the compressor, all of the things are in that corner of the shop. They need to go into the truck and we're off to the desert. But then you think about how that's an ocean away, you know, and you have to try and put together that same program. So it's I mean, it's a huge undertaking to be able to get to that. So just to kind of wrap it up, there's two. Chrono stage. What do you think about that? I mean, I feel like there's more details about it now
going on, right? Like, all these people say they have this strategy. I think the most ideal thing for me would be if they have bonus time, right? Like, think about this. It's easy bonus time both days if you can stay in front. I don't know how it's going to work because before, like at the last Dakar, they just did bonus time till the first refuel or whatever, right? If there is a strategy, which I don't think I'm going to do so much strategy this year. Like, I'm going to try to not win every day, I think. Like, that'd be my strategy. I'm going to try to yo-yo. Because, you know, that's apparently how you win.
Yeah.
Seems like
doing the Dakar swing.
Yeah. Like,
but not yo-yo, not too much. Or
okay. Skylar didn't really yo-yo, did he? He was winning the whole rally and whatever at the end, right? But like in past, seems like the yo-yo is actually kind of how you win. Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Well, I agree, and I think that it's I like that the Dakar's trying to work their way around that and try and make things more competitive. But I think, like what you're saying, the big takeaway for me is, like, what I'm hearing is just go out and ride the thing.
Yeah.
You know, just do your thing and just focus on that. And, you know, I think, I mean, the track record is there already. I don't think there's anything really left, you know, to prove on that side of it. You could ride, you can navigate. I mean, to me, the biggest thing is the navigating. You know, when you got guys following you,
feels good. It's so awesome. When you hit the brakes and people behind you also hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Like, not in a rude way, but it's like you have the control. You know, all these people, they stopped looking at their road book 20 kilometers ago. I mean, not totally true. Also, like, that's a big thing. Like, the guys at the front obviously know how to navigate. Like, they know how to navigate in a way, right? Like, I think there's definitely different ways to navigate. Something I learned at the 1,000 Dunas rally in Morocco that I just did.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like strategy, right? Like, I'm good because I can navigate, not because of necessarily just my riding skill, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's made for me. But I think a lot of people, they're good because they can ride like crazy. They can navigate, but their riding is better than their navigating.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm like the opposite. My navigating is better than my riding in comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have to ride up front by navigating. Like, that's what I think. Like, if I started 40th, would I really make up as much time as someone like Toby, who's probably the fastest guy there? That's something to learn this year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way they ride is adapted to their navigation and their riding skill, right? And the way I've been doing it is because of the way I ride and I navigate. Yeah. I wouldn't be good if I wasn't trying to navigate. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Well, I think it's definitely the balance. It's definitely the balance of the two where, you know, okay, how you could be a very poor rider and know how to navigate and you'll get so far up the field. But then there gets a point where I think that everybody's kind of riding at that speed and at that level. And then the difference becomes even more that navigation. You can't outride the road book.
Right.
You can. You end up missing waypoints. You end up missing corners, you know. And
this is, everybody does it. Like you just said, you can be so fast, but eventually you're not going to win because your navigation skills.
Yeah.
So I'm at, like, this is perfectly what I was thinking. I'm the opposite. Mm-hmm. I'm just good at reading the road book, and to win, I need to learn how to ride.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people in the back, maybe they know how to navigate like crazy. And this is why they're in it, because they're ex-military, crazy airplane flyer dudes. Mm-hmm. Like, those are the kinds of people that get accepted, you know, the people with something wrong in their brains. I mean, that's right.
Yeah.
I think it's true.
I mean, it's not, I mean, you have to have it to, I mean, there's got to be something there to be able to say, yeah, I'm going to go race the Dakar. I'm going to go get lost for 15 days and get myself unlost every single day.
It's just the main takeaway is nobody can ride like Toby, you know? Yeah. Like, if there is a strategy, there's no way my strategy could be the same as the other guys. Mm-hmm. For sure. It's like, this is the temptation, right? Like, I'm trying something new this year for sure. Yeah. The problem is when you do good from the beginning, you're like, well, I don't want to change what's working, right? That's kind of what I was thinking at this last Dakar. Mm-hmm. At the Dakar, I need to actually, like, take risks, but not because of speed, but like, I need to be not afraid to lose a bunch of time on one day.
Yeah.
To try to gain a bunch of time on another, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, go into the corner slow so you can leave fast.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, riding, I mean, I think that goes without say, right? It's just being more methodical in the riding, you know, knowing that it's going to be a long haul and conserving energy, you know, everything that you've been doing on the bike and getting everything dialed in and getting that bike set for you. You know, I think that all of that is maybe that's that 1 or 2 miles an hour. You know, I don't know. I feel like, you know, after becoming a subscriber and kind of seeing the stuff that you've been posting, that it almost feels like you have more time. I think, and you mentioned it, you have more time on something that's much closer to what you're going to be racing, and way more like development and suspension and working and dialing and changing these things, so that when you get to that bike, that your actual race bike, I think that 1 or 2 miles an hour that you were maybe looking for may just come naturally, just simply because you spent all of this time working on a bike. Like, that's not, I'm going to say, not a known recipe. You can't walk in, like, I mean, I'm sure you walked into AHM and I'm like, I need the suspension for this. And it's like, well, this is what we're going to do. You know, you can't walk into any of the other suspension shops around town and expect them to have settings, but you walk in and you go, hey, I got a 2016 FE501. I mean, with their eyes closed, they can tell you what shim stack, what springs, what, you know. And so I think that is, it's important.
Actually, it was like walking in and getting something almost perfect right away.
That is nothing but talent.
So to be fully honest, when I do release my suspension clicker settings and like the basic stuff, you know, you can get the valving from Brandon, but I'll tell you how I set my bike up. The only thing I've actually changed is the rebound in the rear shock and the compression, the low speed compression. I ended up stiffening it to where there was only, like, I started at 10 clicks of compression, low speed. I ended up with 2 left, brought it back into Brandon. Now I have 14 clicks. So that way, when I get to the dunes, I can make it even stiffer. Like, the suspension is the same, feels the same, everything's the same, except now I have 14 clicks stiffer.
Yeah. Well, you have room, you have the Dakar buffer.
Yeah.
You know, you can go and it could be a little bit off, but you can at least bring it back with clickers.
That, and I can go softer. So it's like, the big thing is being able to go there in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't know if I'm going to have to go yet.
Yeah. See, and that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's all those little, it's like all these little things.
The other thing is, like we were saying, the new bike weighs like a spring rate less. So I'm bringing extra springs and getting it all figured out.
Yeah. Good. Okay. So a lot going on. I know you got to get working on the packing thing. The craziest tip I've ever heard on packing for the Dakar was from Lauren Lassard, where he packs everything by day in its own little baggie. So then he knows that day he just grabs that bag and it's got everything he needs in it. I'm like, dude, that is a level of OCD I might aspire to someday. But in the meantime,
I gear yet. To be honest, it's not going to arrive at my house till I leave to Dubai. So,
oh man,
hard for me to do anything properly.
Yeah, it just makes it challenging. That's the only thing.
Yeah.
So
I just got my boots and my helmet the other day. The helmet I got, the new Alpine Star helmet, is different than the one that I had the graphics template made for.
Oh, okay.
So I dropped off the helmets again, and now Factory Effects is fixing that up.
Nice.
So hopefully by Monday, my helmets are ready again, and I can use the helmet bag to pack stuff in also. It's not.
I got a feeling there's going to be stuff in everything. Even the empty space where your head goes in the helmet is probably going to be packed with stuff.
I'm not on time with anything except for, I guess, the suspension and my entry.
Mm-hmm.
That's the easiest part, I guess, is the entry.
Yeah.
Signing up. That's what everybody says. That's the easy part.
Yeah. Right. So, okay. So to wrap it up, let's talk support. Who, we know Effective Soft, but we also need to know how the listeners and how we can kind of help, support the train and heading to Dakar.
All right. So I'm selling t-shirts. I think that's the easy thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm selling through my Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have a website. You just type in Mason Klein t-shirts. I'm pretty sure. Mason-Klein.com.
Got it. Link will be in the description.
My Instagram, Mason_Klein1.
Mm-hmm.
My Facebook, Mason Klein. I've had a lot of help this year from a lot of people, which has been really cool. I got the shirts designed and started printing in like 2 days.
Nice.
Like my friend had an idea, Harth Noah, stole the idea, got it done a month in advance from his shirt.
Nice.
It was pretty stuff. Thanks to Fuck You Racing.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Haller, that was a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, to go training, you need to be able to transport the bikes, and we've been bringing a lot of bikes out there with us. So I've been using the Joe Haller racks. obviously Mike Belanti and Landmark Dodge. They're the reason why I have a motorhome.
Nice.
Obviously many other things, but he's been supporting me since the very beginning also. There's a lot of people. Moto Minded has supported me from the beginning. The first rally tower I ever got was Moto Minded.
Mm-hmm.
I like Moto Minded towers. Like, that's what I'm used to. Normally, I don't mind changing, going to what's the best, testing out everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I've tried a few rally towers in my life so far. And I do like the Moto Minded one more.
Yeah.
My preference. Definitely a preference thing, right? Like the roadbook has to be in the right spot for your eyeballs.
Mm-hmm.
We got the same vision of where it needs to be.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's like a million other people.
Yeah. Those are
too many.
Yeah.
But sorry for making it go so slow. Just trying to not make anybody mad by forgetting them. It's not that I'm forgetting them. I have it all right here in front of me.
It's and there's like 1,001 things still left to do. So, so it's not anything about the company or anything like that. You got a lot going on. So, nice.
B-Moto. A lot of stuff. Thank you, Victor, for doing this call with me and my family.
Yeah. Of course, it's a pleasure.
Here, he got sick, so that's crazy.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, get it out of the way. Get that immune system up, because man, this is going to be a challenging few weeks. So I hope he's feeling a little better.
Win next year.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be awesome.
We had a program, we had a plan. I thought for sure no reason he wouldn't win this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, actually, if you know Carter, if you've seen him ride, you'd be like, yeah, he's winning.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I saw the light streak a couple times at the 1,000 in some of the posts on social media. It's like you could tell. First of all, I mean, the video I saw 1X. I saw him on the bike through San Felipe, and then I saw I think it was 3X Syrian's bike.
Yeah. You see the comparison video?
Yes.
I think it's not a competition. I'm really I'm glad I'm not Carter, because I feel like I'm allowed to say Carter is like a badass.
He is.
If I was Carter, right? But now it's just like, no, I believe in him.
Yeah.
He is good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like anything else, it's what is it in the great words of Ty Davis? You can't fake fast.
Yeah.
So that's the, absolutely. Yeah,
Carter says he talks to him kind of often.
To who, Ty?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, and Moto Minded. Moto Minded helmet light. If you want to be able to see in Baja, you should probably find a helmet light set up. They have a lot of stuff. People even use them at the rallies when they know they're going to come in at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
People do this. Actually, I see the Moto Minded helmet lights out there, and pretty cool.
Nice. Well, and that's true, because I mean, I feel like the headlight thing on rally bikes is,
it's not allowed at the car or whatever, but I mean, the stock headlight is kind of the worst thing in the world, right? And then in our class in Dakar or whatever, the world rallies, it's a requirement that you have to use the stock headlight. Yeah.
So because or whatever, DOT or homologated or whatever it is, you can't use a super powerful light. But that just means, I mean, to me, it's a safety thing, because you guys, you race in the daylight, except you mingle with local traffic on the way there and on the way home. So
basically.
Nice.
All right.
Well, excellent. Sorry. All right, guys.
Victor.
Yeah. Well, let's get to it. I got one more call today, and we're hitting it. So enjoy the practicing. Get a little bit of rest. We're gonna do some travel.
Yes. Excellent. Thank you, Victor.
All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Carter. See you, Larry. Hey. Feel better. All right. So there you have it. That is the Kleins. So Carter and Mason, obviously doing a lot of racing. Carter fresh off of the win at the Baja 1000 on the 1X team. I mean, we all know, you guys heard it in the episode. We know that is San Felipe is one of the hardest sections. And the quick story I have on that one is I did it once. I thought I was like, well, it can't be that bad. There's got to be lines. There has to be lines. And I looked for them. I got on Zoo Road. I headed 100 yards one way, and then I turned around and headed 100 yards the other way, and there was no new tracks, meaning that all the guys were just going right up the whoops and doing all that stuff. So very challenging section. Carter did awesome on that, kept the bike up front. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the question mark with bikes. Any, one off can be the difference in losing a 30-minute lead, in no time. So very competitive class in the Pro Moto section of that event, 1,310 miles. So absolutely awesome job by the whole team. And then Carter, solidifying that in the San Felipe section. That was absolutely awesome. So with that, we got Mason headed to the Dakar, going to be doing some testing. I'm stoked. I mean, I really do. I do believe on what he has been able to do with the testing and with the suspension and everything that is going on with that bike. Yes, he's getting a Gen 2 bike for the rally, which is awesome. I mean, that's a move on Cove. That shouldn't even be a question mark. Again, because of the attention that Mason has, his ability to navigate, his proven record of, stage wins and being able to keep a bike up front or get a bike up front and navigate and show people around the desert, run the tour out there. And so those things all put together with the time that he's been spending on the suspension, I think that's where it's at. Horsepower is horsepower, but if you're able to get a suspension that allows you to ride the bike comfortably and fast, it makes a very, very big difference. So I feel, as I mentioned, I feel like he's spent more time dialing in this setup and getting it more for him to make the bike feel like home, that I think we're going to see some really good results out of it. So that's what we're looking for. You heard it from Lisa and talking about, what the logistics of this looks like, the undertaking that this is. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's the business, there's the logistics side of it. And then you've got the team, Felipe, Mike, Larry, everybody going over there and working on helping, put this program together. It sounds like from, 30,000 feet up, it sounds like it's a privateer effort, which it is. But it feels like, you got to take care of all of these little things that you would do for a weekend race, but you got to make sure you've got everything you're going to need for 15 of those weekends, 15 race days, and figuring out, how is this going to happen? How is this going to shake loose? All of the little things. It's the little things that are going to bite you in the butt, and so partnering with Dust and how they're, kind of working together just on the outskirts there. I think that's an awesome move. And then and then the companies that are helping support Mason. So you guys have heard it, and we've talked about it, and we use their stuff from Moto Minded. Chris and the team out there always coming up with new things, got little things going. I mean, it's awesome, to see them develop stuff. And I have the rally tower. And that rally tower is absolutely stout, in its design, and he's worked on it and refined it and all this stuff. And, it's good. And I can tell you that it's constantly sold out. So you got to get your hands on one if you haven't already, but you're going to have to maybe wait in line a little bit. But it's absolutely worth it. And I'll tell you the time that I realized was worth it when a rider took it for a loop. It was at Sonora Rally. This is the kind of, the team that Mason, Larry, Lisa, the KORR off-road team allowed one of the other competitors to run on their bike. A known competitor. They race together and all that stuff. They run in the same circles. They let him use the bike, and he had a tumble and end over end. And the only part that was broken on it was the actual factory KTM windscreen. But other than that, the road book, everything was still straight. Everything was intact. It was, I was impressed. That was it. I'm like, you got to think about how much leverage that is by that tower sticking out and where it is on the bike and how easy it could be to damage it. And for it to not be damaged, that was pretty awesome. So anyway, we're going to wrap the episode up. I hope you guys have been enjoying the programming. We are working together. I'm actually messaging with Lizzie. We've got to take an inventory of all the episodes and all the stuff that's coming your way and make sure we get it released in time for the Dakar. 2024 Dakar Rally going to be coming up soon. Hope you guys are staying tuned for that. And don't forget, we got a lot of rallies coming up here in North America, starting the party with the Coast to Coast Rally in February. That is going to be the 18th through the 24th, 28th. I think I would do this 7 days in February. So we will be down there for that one, checking it out. It's 18th through the 25th in February. So towards the end of February. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. I should have all of these dates down. I think I'm just thinking we got another episode to record today. But like I say, it'll make sense when you get there. Enjoy the ride. What's going on, guys? Victor with the Chasing Waypoints podcast. All right. Are you looking to promote your brand to a worldwide audience on the podcast? Drop us a line at podcast@chasingwaypoints.com and let's talk. See what we can do about getting you some more ears for your company and getting the word out worldwide. All right. That is a wrap for the Chasing Waypoints podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Looking forward to our next one coming up. Remember, if you are out riding, do not forget to tag us at Chasing Waypoints. Hashtag Chasing Waypoints. And if you haven't already, get on over to the website. Get signed up for the newsletter, The Bivouac. North America's Rally Raid and Adventure Riding newsletter. Hey, let's have some fun. Let's find out what are you guys up to. Let's get you featured. If you're a brand and looking to get supported, get some eyeballs, get some ears on your business, absolutely hit us up. Send us a message at podcast@Chasing Waypoints. But anyway, that is a wrap. Remember, shiny side up. See you guys.